In many ways, I'm a lot like my mom. We both have incredibly long and beautiful legs. We live half eating bananas everywhere. When the bananas get so big. And she also taught me how to bake. But there is just one aspect in which we differ. My mom has an unforgiving ability to forgive and let bygones be bygones. Someone can say and do the most vile things. My mom will recount the story to me and my sister to our dismay. And my sister and I will pick up the baton of anger and be like, please block this person. And she's like, don't worry, I know how to handle them. And it's always with kindness. My mom grew up in the worst of times. She was 4 when the Biafran Nigerian civil war erupted. My mom remembers standing in line under the blazing Nigerian sun, half naked as nurses and doctors inspected their bodies. She remembers her mom, my grandmother, by the side, just hoping and praying that her daughter would be taken away as refugees, probably never to be seen again. They were not selected. Nigeria had cut off the food supply to the eastern parts, and so my mom and her siblings survived on lizards, rats. She would always say that lizards were a delicacy. And so even when we were growing up, when we were younger, if we drooled in our sleep, she'd be like, oh, did you eat lizard in your sleep? At 4, she had learned how to time and control her bladder and drink just enough water to get her through to the next day so that the glow of the kerosene lamp would not betray her and her family members if she had to go and use the outdoor toilets. So it was in this panic state that they waited for their mom at night to return because it was after curfew and her brother had fallen ill. Eventually, her mom returned with her brother just like tied on her back, and he was limp and she was screaming like, you've taken everything away from me. You might as well just take me as well. And at this point, like death just hovered across the entire Igbo eastern states. Everywhere you looked around you, there was mourning, there was loss, there was a lot of grief. But the thing is, if you ask my mom about her childhood, she would only gush about the happy moments. How her mother would carry her on her lap after school to ask her about everything she learned in school because my grandma didn't know how to read or write. She would always say, I didn't even know we were poor, we were happy. And it's funny because the heart has a way of deleting and eliminating the bad parts of life and magnifying the good parts. So my mom is quick to forgive because she's literally the most confident person I know. It takes a certain level of confidence and self-assurance to know that the words of others don't define you. And so if you've seen and experienced the worst of humanity, like what more can you do or say to me that would affect me? I mean, I always knew I was a lot like my mom. I got it all the time. But what I didn't realize was like I'm also a lot like my grandma. Like just how resolute my grandmother was, her curiosity, and also using food as a medium for economic survival.